Hi, this is Randy at ReportMaster. I want to talk about an issue that comes up a lot. I talk to chiropractors all day long, and the thing I hear most often is that in the old days, it was a lot easier than it is now. You didn't have to produce comprehensive documentation like you have to do now. In fact, if you're doing Medicare, for instance, and you don't have comprehensive documentation, if they audit you, you might have to pay a lot of money back. Same thing with insurance, and in general, you just simply have to document things much more comprehensively than you ever had to in the past. But what everybody wants is a way to do it that's easy. Now, there are two issues. You know, you've got your paper forms versus some type of a computer input. People talk about tablets because it's mobile, you can walk around with it. You know, if you think about a paper form, nothing is easier than just checking off something on a form and there you have it. The problem with that is it doesn't describe well enough what you did unless you spent some time on it, but then it took too much time to do it. So typically what we're hearing is you send in a paper form that used to work fine, and now they're saying, well, we need more information, we can't read it, and it's all kind of suspicious because they kind of benefit if they can't read it, so they have an incentive to not try to read it. Whereas, let's say you do something on a computer and it comes out all typed up and perfectly described, well, they have a hard time not accepting that. However, if you're not much of a computer person, you might find that that's more difficult than you want to do. So I really want to talk about basically coming up with an easy way for anybody to actually have comprehensive documentation. Let's first take a look at a paper form. I'm going to pull up a form here. Now, there's a key over here on the right, but this key is not part of the form. It's really just for demonstration purposes. This form would have two columns just like this one on the left. Here we have the guy's name, the date, his neck. It's a lot better. In this case, that's a little better. This is a lot better. That's a little worse. That's a lot worse. It's a 6 on the pain scale. It's having a severe effect on activities. This is no effect, minor, severe effect. It prevents activities. So this is activities of daily living. So his left hip's a little better. It's a 5 on the pain scale, moderate effect on activities. He told you he was able to ride his bike, so you just wrote it in. And, you know, obviously, this is a very simple kind of an input. And if an insurance company weren't trying to be a pain, they could just read it and, you know, everything would be fine. But, of course, they're being a little bit more of a pain these days. Let's go down here to findings. At C1, you found moderate pain. This is mild, moderate, severe, audibleized. So moderate pain, and you found articular fixations, and you adjusted it. Left hip, mild pain, edema. You adjusted it and did EMS. You know, this is a very simple kind of a form. You can look at it. You can use it. It's not rocket science. Anybody in your office could look at it and know what you did. Now, of course, though, you send this into an insurance company, and they'd try to say, well, we can't quite understand it, even if they could. So how does this then get turned into documentation that they can't really deny? Well, here you have a screen that has the same input. In this case, his neck. Let's go back to that form real quick. What we had here on the form, his neck had improved a lot, a 6 on the pain scale, and having a severe effect on activities. So let's go back to here. His neck improved a bit, 6 on the pain scale. Now this, it's already on here, but I could very easily change it. Severe effect on activities. So we actually happen to have the same thing checked here that's on the form already. And so the whole idea here then is to have a very simple way to input it. Now, if you're the kind of guy who likes computers and you want to walk around with a tablet and not even use a paper form, you can just input it right here. But the real key to this is what gets produced in the note, which I'm going to show you here, is something that is very complete. It's kind of irrefutable. Let me just show you an example note that would come straight off of that screen. Mr. Accident's current signs and symptoms were assessed today. His neck pain has improved a lot since his last visit with us. It was 6 on the 1 to 10 pain scale. His daily activities are seriously affected by this symptom. The patient's left hip pain has seen slight improvement on the 1 to 10 scale today. This complaint was rated at 5. The patient's daily activities are somewhat affected by this symptom. And the patient stated that he was able to ride his bike for the first time since his accident yesterday. So the whole idea here is you could use a tablet, get rid of the paper, and input it directly. Or if you'd rather just check off a form, hand it off to an assistant, let them input it. If you don't want to even touch a computer, that's fine. Or somewhere in between. In fact, some offices use the form. They don't even input it unless it's someone that they need a typed up note for. If it's a cash patient, they've got the form, and that's good enough because that has all the data. And as we scroll down, just give a little more data here. Objective evaluation. Passive ranges of motion of the cervical spinal region were somewhat restricted with pain. Here we have palpation. Cervical region palpation revealed the following: moderate pain and articular fixations at C1. We also had slight pain and tenderness and mild edema of the left hip. Anyway, the point is, nowadays you need a note that really covers everything, but you don't want to have to spend all day writing it, because who's got that much time? I guess I wanted to show you a concept that you can hopefully apply to your note-taking. And feel free to give us a call if you'd like to let us know what you're looking for, or if there's something else you'd like us to show you in these video presentations.
Please give us a call today, toll-free, at 877-742-9215 for a live demonstration. Thanks.